October is here and Halloween is right around the corner. So to celebrate, let me introduce you to something thematically appropriate. Dr. Seuss is someone who needs no introduction, thanks to his library of iconic stories. The Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham, Horton Hears a Who, and possibly his most well-known book, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. But less people know about his midnight paintings, which have an eerie, haunting, and even depressing feel to them. His style is known for being surreal and whimsical, but the background tone of the pictures can make a huge difference. Today, we'll be taking a look at one of Dr. Seuss's more horror-based creations. I give you Halloween is Grinch Night. Halloween is Grinch Night, often shortened to just Grinch Night, is a Halloween-themed TV special that premiered on ABC on October 28, 1977, serving as something akin to a prequel to the iconic How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which was released in 1966. The special was written by none other than Dr. Seuss himself. Unfortunately, horror movie icon Boris Karloff, who voiced the Grinch in the aforementioned movie, passed away in 1969. So the role of the Grinch was given to Hans Conried, who played Captain Hook in Disney's Peter Pan. Thurl Ravenscroft, who sang for the original movie, returns for the special. He was also known for Tony the Tiger before he himself passed away. Lastly, the music was done by Joe Raposo, who was known for the music for Sesame Street. Once again taking place in Whoville, every Halloween is accompanied by the sweet and sour winds, which causes a chain reaction that disturbs the Grinch.
Always starts when that sour sweet wind begins a-howlin'. Sour sweet wind across the tree stumps on the wrong side of Punker's Pond. Then that wind wakes up the Gree-Grumps from their sleep inside the tree stumps, and all the Gree-Grumps start a-growlin'. And that growlin' and that howlin' runkles and grunkles up the pond. 'Cause when old Punker's Pond gets runkled by that howlin' and that growlin', that always disturbs the Hackencracks. And the Hackencracks start a-yowlin'. And the yowlin' of the Hackencracks, plus that runklin', drunklin', howlin', growlin', always irritates the Grinch. And then that Grinch starts in a-brawlin'.
And so, the Grinch leaves his mountain home on Mount Crumpet, taking his paraphernalia wagon down the mountain towards Whoville so he can torment them on what the Whos call Grinch Night. As a result, the Whos all retreat into their homes and go on lockdown. However, when a boy named Euchariah goes out to the euphemism, he gets blown up the mountain and runs into the Grinch. While the Grinch doesn't give him much of a thought at first, Euchariah decides to do what he can to stall the Grinch until the wind dies down. While everyone knows how whimsical Dr. Seuss's style can be, the style in Grinch Night is noticeably more down-to-earth, while still being Dr. Seuss's signature style. However, the overall tone of the special feels much more haunting and foreboding. As opposed to the bright, joyful colors of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the colors in Grinch Night are dark and subdued, with the music not helping to alleviate things. Throughout the entire special, there's a sense of tension as the Grinch inches closer to Whoville, ready to unleash his terrifying paraphernalia wagon, while Euchariah does all he can to keep the Grinch busy and stall him for as long as possible. The closest thing I can compare the special to would be Pooh's Grand Adventure, both taking a world with a normally bright and cheery tone and transforming it into something dark and foreboding. Branches become bony hands grasping at anything. There are sharp and jagged edges everywhere. There's a sense of danger, and even the color scheme changes. Pooh's Grand Adventure has a bit of purple and dark blue, as well as some gray, while Grinch Night mostly sticks to black and red as their primary colors. And the songs themselves are also different compared to other Dr. Seuss specials. Cat, Hat, The Wicksham Brothers, and even You're a Mean One, Dr. Grinch, are all more upbeat and entertaining, compared to Grinch Night, in which songs range from tense.
You can tell by the smell of the wind. It sounds like another one's coming. Another Grinch night might commence. I wouldn't go out on a night like this for $1.50.
To somber.
How many times have I said and said? How many times have I said in my head, what am I doing here? Why am I the slave of this Grinchy old crock? And I say how I wish I could turn back the clock and have the fine future I had once before, and again be an innocent puppy once more.
To even solemn.
He is wandering in the wind while the hack and cracks are yowling and the grey grumps are a-growling. He is wandering up Mount Crumpet.
With special mention going to just how terrifying and menacing the Grinch is gonna getcha scene from the paraphernalia wagon is, which is what the entire special is leading towards. This special is very heavy on dialogue, and the plot moves noticeably slower compared to other Dr. Seuss specials. However, this works to its advantage, as it sets the tone and helps build anticipation for the paraphernalia wagon, which gets set up early and remains until it gets used in the climax. Throughout the special, the Grinch rides on top of it, making it always apparent even when it's not in focus. Anticipation rises further when the Grinch has Euchariah climb on top, repeatedly telling him to climb aboard and come closer until... I highly recommend checking this one out, largely due to how different and unlike it is from the rest of Dr. Seuss's catalog. The increased emphasis on dialogue can make the special a bit boring to some, especially to children, but as I stated, it helps build tension. The infamous Grinch is gonna getcha scene is also a massively standout moment. Most say the pink elephants were terrifying, but if you ask me, the paraphernalia wagon blows it out of the water by actively trying to be scary and unnerving, enhanced by Dr. Seuss's bizarre and unusual style and designs, with creatures of the unhuman race terrorizing Euchariah. The darker tone doesn't just reflect in the visual mood, but also with the Grinch himself, being significantly more evil and cruel compared to the Christmas special. His whole goal regarding the Who's is to torment and terrify them just because of some noise made by the wildlife. As opposed to how the Grinch stole Christmas, he just steals their present because of all the noise they made. Here, he brings his wagon because he wants to scare them with unholy imagery, living nightmares, and frightening abominations, and the Who's fear him in turn. There's even a scene where he runs over a bed of flowers, but misses one, so he goes back to finish the job. There's even a scene where he runs over a bed of flowers, but when he sees one is still alive, he goes back specifically to kill it, laughing as he crushes it. And there's his treatment of Max. The misfortune he suffers in the Christmas special is largely played for laughs, and not meant to be taken seriously. If anything, he has nothing but love for his master. Here, Max is very clearly unhappy and severely mistreated, becoming the Grinch's silently suffering sidekick. He even has a song questioning why he continues to stay when the Grinch just continues to make his life miserable. Though it's unknown if this is the same Max for the Christmas special, or a different one entirely. By the end, the Grinch is technically defeated by Euchariah. He's been busy long enough for the winds to die down, and the animals to stop making noise, so he returns home with the wagon. However, he doesn't reform nor change his ways. He simply swears he'll return at a later date to torment the Who's. And if the idea of this being a prequel is anything to be believed, that later date would be Christmas. At the time of the special's initial airing, Grinch Night received an award in 1978 for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Children's Program, even competing against Once Upon a Classic, the Fat Albert Christmas Special, and Once Upon a Brothers Grimm. If you want to see it for yourself, the special was released on Blu-ray in 2018 as a special on the Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas Ultimate Edition, alongside The Grinch Grinches the Cat in the Hat, a crossover in which the Grinch bothers the Cat in the Hat. It is also available on Amazon Prime Video, though it costs about $4 to rent and almost $14 to buy. Grinch Night was also uploaded to YouTube, to which the link will be provided in the description. And with that, happy Halloween everyone! Next month, we'll be taking a look at a movie about a man trying to fight against the underlying evils of Disney World, and the man who tried to use the Streisand effect to his advantage. I'll see you all next time.